I sent my sister $50,000 for her cancer treatment. She used it for a honeymoon with my ex-husband, posted beach photos tagged best life, then called me from the hospital 6 months later asking why I abandoned her when she actually got sick. I'm 34F. My sister is 29. My ex-husband is 36. We got divorced 2 years ago because he cheated on me with someone from his gym. It was brutal. I found out when his Apple Watch activity showed him working out at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. Tracked his location. He was at her apartment. The divorce cost me everything. I gave him the house because I just wanted out. Kept my car and my savings. Started over in a 1-bedroom apartment and worked my ass off to rebuild. It took me 2 years to feel normal again. Then 6 months ago my sister called me crying. Said she had stage 3 ovarian cancer. Needed surgery and chemo. Her insurance was shit and she needed $50,000 upfront or they wouldn't start treatment. She sent me photos of medical documents. Everything looked real. I didn't even question it. I emptied my savings. Every single dollar I'd saved since the divorce. Sent her $50,000 the next day. She cried and thanked me and said I was saving her life. 2 weeks later I'm scrolling Instagram and see she's posted beach photos. Maldives. Fucking Maldives. She's in a bikini holding champagne with the caption finally living my best life and about 15 hashtags including hashtag blessed and hashtag new beginnings. I thought maybe the doctors were wrong. Maybe she didn't have cancer after all and this was her celebrating. I texted her asking how she was feeling. She said so much better, the treatment is really working with a prayer hands emoji. Then I saw who liked the photo. My ex-husband. I clicked his profile. He'd posted the same beach. Same resort. Different angle. His caption was honeymoon vibes with my beautiful wife. They got married. My sister married my ex-husband. And they used my $50,000 to pay for their wedding and honeymoon. I called her immediately. She answered all giggly and I could hear waves in the background. I said where the fuck are you and she went quiet. Then she said I can explain and I said you're in the Maldives. With my ex-husband. Using my money. She tried to say it just happened, that they ran into each other at a coffee shop and connected over how hard I'd been on both of them. That he understood her in ways I never did. That love finds you when you least expect it. That she was going to pay me back but the wedding got expensive and they deserved one nice trip. I hung up. Blocked both of them. Blocked their families who started messaging me saying I was being dramatic and that I should be happy my sister found love. Her friends called me jealous. Said I needed therapy. I filed a police report for fraud. Got a lawyer. The medical documents were fake, obviously. She'd photoshopped them using templates from the internet. My lawyer said it was a clear case but it would take time. That was 6 months ago. I haven't spoken to her since. Haven't spoken to anyone in my family who took her side, which was everyone except my dad. He called me once to say he was sorry and that he didn't know she was capable of this. Yesterday my dad called again. Said my sister was in the hospital. That she actually has cancer now. Cervical cancer this time. Stage 2. She needs surgery and her insurance won't cover everything. She's asking for $30,000. She wants me to drop the lawsuit and help her. Says that karma gave her real cancer because she lied about fake cancer, and that this is her punishment but she doesn't deserve to die over a mistake. That I'm her sister and sisters help each other. My dad said she's been crying every day. That my ex-husband left her 2 months ago when the lawsuit started because he didn't want to deal with legal drama. That she's alone and scared and knows she fucked up. He said I'm the only person who can afford to help her and that if I don't, her blood is on my hands. I told him no. I said she made her choice when she stole from me and married my ex-husband. That I spent 2 years rebuilding my life after that divorce and she knew exactly how much pain I was in. That she looked me in the eyes and lied about dying so she could take my money and fuck my ex-husband in the Maldives. My dad started crying. Said I'm not the person he raised. That forgiveness is everything and holding grudges will destroy me. That she's my baby sister and she's dying. I said she's a liar and a thief and I hope the cancer hurts. Then I hung up. And now I'm sitting here wondering if I'm a monster. Part of me feels guilty. Part of me feels like she deserves this. Part of me wonders if I said that last thing just to hurt him because I'm so fucking angry. My therapist says I need to process this on my own timeline and that I don't owe anyone forgiveness. But my entire family is blowing up my phone saying I'm letting my sister die over money. That family is forever and grudges aren't worth a life. But it's not about the money anymore. It's about the fact that she knew what my ex-husband did to me. She watched me cry for months. She held me when I said I'd never trust anyone again. And then she stole from me and married him and posted honeymoon photos like I didn't exist. Am I a butthole for refusing to help my sister now that she actually has cancer? The lawsuit went through. My sister has to pay back the full $50,000 plus legal fees. She doesn't have it. Her bank accounts were frozen and she's living with my dad now because she can't afford rent. My ex-husband disappeared the second the police got involved. Turns out he convinced her to put everything in her name. The wedding venue, the flights, the resort, all of it. He told her it would be romantic if she planned everything as a surprise for him. She's the only one legally liable. I didn't know any of this until 3 days ago when my dad showed up at my apartment. I didn't let him in. We talked through the door. He said my sister's surgery is scheduled for next week and she needs $8,000 up front just to get on the table. Said her cancer is real this time, he's seen the medical records himself, gone to appointments with her. I said good for you, I hope you can afford it, and he lost it. Started yelling through the door that I'm killing her. That the courts already punished her and now I'm punishing her again by letting her die. That she made a mistake but she's still my blood. I opened the door then. Looked him right in the face and said she fucked my ex-husband with my money, she can figure this out herself. He slapped me. My dad has never hit me in my entire life. His hand connected with my cheek and I just stood there shocked. He started crying immediately, saying he didn't mean it, that he's under so much stress, that watching his daughters destroy each other is killing him. I told him to leave or I'd call the cops. He left. My face was red for hours. I took photos. Sent them to my therapist. She said I need to consider a protection order, but honestly I don't think my dad will come back. He sent me a long text the next morning apologizing. Said he's not sleeping, he's not eating, he's watching my sister waste away and doesn't know how to fix it. I didn't respond. Then yesterday my sister's friend started a GoFundMe. Help, my sister's relationship to me, beat cancer after her sister abandoned her. They used photos of her in the hospital. She looks terrible. Thin and pale with dark circles. Part of me wonders if she's making herself look worse on purpose. The description says I'm wealthy and refuse to help her out of spite. That she made a mistake in judgment about a relationship, but that shouldn't be a death sentence. That family is supposed to forgive. It's raised $4,000 so far. People I haven't spoken to in years are sharing it. My mom's sister donated $100 and commented, "Praying for you, sweetie, your sister will regret this when you're gone." My high school friends are messaging me asking if it's true. My coworkers saw it. My boss pulled me aside and asked if I needed time off to deal with family issues. I reported the GoFundMe. Told them it was fraudulent, that she's a convicted scammer who already stole $50,000 from me. Sent them the police report and court documents. They took it down within 24 hours. My sister called me from the hospital last night. I don't know how she got my new number. She was crying so hard I could barely understand her. Said they removed the GoFundMe and now she has nothing. That her surgery is in 5 days and if she doesn't come up with the money they'll cancel it. That the cancer is growing and if she waits another month it might spread. I asked her where my ex-husband is. She said she doesn't know. He blocked her on everything. Hasn't spoken to her since he found out about the lawsuit. She said she thought he loved her. That he told her I was controlling and cruel during our marriage, that I'd isolated him from his friends, that leaving me was the best thing he ever did. She said she believed him because I'd been so cold to her after the divorce. I said I was cold to you because my husband cheated on me and you knew how much it hurt. And then you lied about cancer and stole my money and married him. She said she knows. She said she thinks about it every day. That she was jealous of me her whole life because I was smarter and more successful and everyone liked me better. That when my ex-husband paid attention to her she felt special for the first time. That she convinced herself I didn't deserve him and that they were meant to be together. She said the fake cancer was his idea. That he told her I had more money than I knew what to do with and that I owed her for being the favorite child. That it would be easy, I'd never question her, and we'd pay me back eventually when his promotion came through. I didn't say anything. She kept talking. Said she realizes now he was using her to hurt me. That she was so desperate to be chosen over me that she didn't see it. That she's sorry, she's so fucking sorry, and she knows I'll never forgive her, but please, please don't let her die over this. I hung up. Blocked the number. But I can't stop thinking about what she said. About him planning it. About him convincing her that I owed her money. Part of me wonders if it's true or if she's just trying to make herself look less guilty. Part of me doesn't care anymore. My therapist asked me what I want to happen. I said I want my sister to feel every bit of pain she caused me. I want her to be alone and scared like I was. I want her to know what it's like to lose everything. Then my therapist asked if that would actually make me feel better. I didn't have an answer. The surgery is in 4 days. My dad keeps texting me updates. She's getting weaker. The doctors are worried. Please reconsider. I'm not going to help her. But I also can't stop checking my phone. Can't stop wondering if she'll actually die. Can't stop thinking about her crying in that hospital bed with no one. And I hate that I feel guilty. I hate that part of me still sees her as my baby sister who used to follow me around and copy everything I did. I hate that I'm even questioning this. She made her choice. She looked me in the eyes and lied and stole and betrayed me in the worst possible way. The fact that she's sick now doesn't erase that. Right? My sister died on the operating table. The surgery happened anyway because my dad sold his car to cover it. She didn't make it through. I found out through a text from my aunt. Not a call. A text. Your sister passed this morning. Hope you can live with yourself. That's it. That's how I learned my sister was dead. I sat on my couch for 3 hours staring at that message. Didn't cry. Didn't call anyone. Just sat there feeling absolutely nothing. My dad called that night. I answered without thinking. He didn't say hello. Just started talking in this flat, empty voice I'd never heard from him before. Said the surgery took longer than expected. That there were complications. That her heart stopped and they couldn't get it started again. That she was alone when it happened because he'd gone to get coffee. Then he said you killed her and hung up. I blocked his number. Then I unblocked it. Then I blocked it again. Spent 2 hours going back and forth before I finally left it unblocked because some sick part of me thought he might need to reach me. The funeral is tomorrow. My aunt posted the details on Facebook. 2 p.m. at the church my family went to growing up. She added family only, you know who you are in the comments. I saw it because my therapist told me to check so I'd know when to avoid that area of town. I'm not going. Obviously I'm not going. But I can't stop thinking about it. Can't stop picturing my dad sitting in the front row alone because my mom died 6 years ago and now both his daughters are gone. One in the ground and one who might as well be. My ex-husband sent me a message yesterday. First contact in 8 months. He said I heard about your sister. I'm sorry for your loss. That's fucking it. Like he didn't marry her. Like he didn't convince her to steal from me. Like he wasn't the reason any of this happened. I replied fuck you and blocked him. Should have done that months ago. My coworkers know something's wrong. I've been taking long lunches and sitting in my car doing nothing. My boss asked if I wanted bereavement leave and I said no. Because taking bereavement leave would mean admitting my sister died and that it matters to me. And I can't do that. But it does matter. That's the part I can't escape. I'm relieved she's dead. And I'm devastated she's dead. And I'm angry she's dead before I could figure out how I actually felt about any of this. She took that choice away from me just like she took everything else. I keep replaying our last phone call. Her crying in that hospital bed saying my ex-husband convinced her to fake the cancer. Saying she was jealous of me her whole life. Saying she was sorry. And I hung up on her. The last thing I ever said to my sister was nothing. I just hung up. My therapist asked if I think I should have helped her. I said no. She asked if I'm sure. I said yes. She asked why I've been crying through our entire session then. I didn't have an answer. My dad's sister, the one who donated to the GoFundMe, showed up at my apartment yesterday. I didn't let her in but she started yelling through the door anyway. Said my dad is destroyed. That he paid for a surgery that killed his daughter because his other daughter wouldn't help. That I have blood on my hands. That my sister spent her last weeks terrified and alone because I abandoned her. I opened the door and said she stole $50,000 from me and fucked my ex-husband. My aunt said and now she's dead. Was it worth it? I don't know. I genuinely don't fucking know. My sister was a liar and a thief who betrayed me in the worst way possible. She deserved to face consequences. But did she deserve to die? Did she deserve to die scared and in pain while I ignored her calls? Everyone keeps asking me if I feel guilty. That's not the right word. Guilt implies I did something wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. I protected myself from someone who hurt me. That's not wrong. But I can't sleep. Can't eat. Can't focus on anything. I keep seeing her face from those GoFundMe photos. Keep hearing her voice on that last call. Keep thinking about her dying alone on an operating table because I wouldn't help. My therapist says I'm not responsible for her death. That she made choices that led to consequences. That the cancer was random and horrible but not my fault. That I'm allowed to protect myself even when the outcome is tragic. But my sister is dead. And I was the only person who could have saved her. And I chose not to. I made that choice knowing she might die. And now she's dead. I looked at the GoFundMe again last night. Before it got taken down, people had left comments. Dozens of them. Calling me evil. Saying I'm a monster. Saying they hoped I'd experience the same pain my sister felt. One person said your sister is dying and you care more about money than her life. You'll regret this when she's gone. They were right. I do regret it. But not the way they meant. I regret that my sister became someone I couldn't trust. I regret that she looked at my pain after my divorce and decided to make it worse. I regret that she died before she could really understand what she did to me. But I don't regret refusing to help her. I can't regret that. Because if I regret that, it means I should have helped. And if I should have helped, that means I'm responsible for her death. And I can't carry that. The funeral is in 12 hours. I've been awake all night thinking about it. Thinking about my dad sitting there alone. Thinking about my aunt giving some speech about what a beautiful person my sister was. Thinking about everyone crying over someone who stole from me and betrayed me and then expected me to save her anyway. Part of me wants to go. Not to pay respects. Not to support my family. But to stand in the back and watch them mourn her and know that I'm the reason she died hating me. That I'm the reason my dad will never speak to me again. That I chose this. I won't go. I can't. But I can't stop thinking about it either. My sister is dead and I don't know how to feel about it. Everyone wants me to say I'm sorry or I'm sad or I wish I'd helped. But the truth is I'm just empty. She's gone and nothing changed. I'm still angry. Still hurt. Still alone. Her dying didn't fix anything. Was I wrong? Should I have helped her? I genuinely can't tell anymore. I went to the funeral. I don't know why. I told myself I wouldn't, but I got in my car and drove there anyway and sat in the parking lot for 20 minutes before walking in late. I stood in the back. Nobody saw me at first. The church was half empty. Maybe 30 people. My dad was in the front row with his head in his hands. My aunt was next to him with her arm around his shoulders. The casket was closed. White with pink roses on top. The priest was talking about forgiveness and God's plan and how my sister was at peace now. I felt sick listening to it. She wasn't at peace. She died terrified on an operating table after stealing from me and getting abandoned by my ex-husband. There was nothing peaceful about any of it. Then my aunt got up to speak. She talked about my sister like she was a saint. Said she was kind and generous and loved her family more than anything. Said she'd been through so much hardship and faced it with grace. Said she was taken too soon by a cruel disease. She didn't mention the fake cancer. Didn't mention the theft. Didn't mention my ex-husband. Just painted this picture of a perfect person who died tragically young. I should have left. I was going to leave. But then my aunt said her sister couldn't be here today and looked right at me. She knew I was there the whole time. Everyone turned around. 30 people staring at me standing in the back in jeans and a jacket because I didn't own anything appropriate for a funeral anymore. My dad saw me and his face did something I've never seen before. Not anger. Not sadness. Just empty. My aunt kept talking. Said some people choose money over family. Some people let pride destroy what matters most. We pray for those people too, that they find peace with their choices. I walked out. Didn't run. Just turned around and walked out while everyone watched. Got to my car and sat there shaking. I don't know if it was anger or shame or what. Just sat there shaking and crying until I couldn't breathe right. My phone started blowing up an hour later. People from the funeral found my number somehow. Messages calling me disgusting for showing up. For disrespecting my sister's memory. For making her funeral about me. For upsetting my dad on the worst day of his life. One message said you killed her and then showed up to watch everyone mourn. What's wrong with you? I blocked all of them. Then I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I answered without thinking. It was my ex-husband. He said we need to talk. I said we have nothing to talk about. He said yes we do, that things have gotten complicated and he needs to explain something. I asked where he was during the funeral and he said he couldn't go, that it wouldn't have been appropriate given the circumstances. I laughed. Actually laughed. Said nothing about any of this has been appropriate and he's the fucking reason for all of it. He got quiet for a second and then said she told you it was my idea, didn't she? I didn't say anything. He said I need you to understand something. Your sister wasn't some innocent victim I manipulated. She came to me. She planned the whole thing. I just went along with it because I was angry at you for taking everything in the divorce. I said I didn't take everything, you cheated on me and I left you the house. He said that's not how he remembers it. Said I made his life hell during the divorce. Made him look like the bad guy to everyone we knew. Cost him friendships and his relationship with his family. Said when my sister came to him with a plan to get money from me, he saw it as balancing the scales. I asked why he's telling me this now. He said because my sister's family is coming after him. My dad hired a lawyer. They're trying to say he coerced her into the fraud scheme and that he's responsible for her death because he abandoned her when she got sick. They want him to pay the $50,000 back instead of her estate. He said he needs me to testify that my sister was the one who lied about the cancer. That she's the one who sent me the fake medical documents. That I gave her the money directly and he had nothing to do with it. Said if I do that, he'll make sure everyone knows my sister planned everything and that I was just protecting myself. I hung up. He called back immediately. I didn't answer. He left a voicemail. Said I owe him this much. That he knows I hate him but we were married for 6 years and that has to count for something. That my sister destroyed both our lives and we're the only ones who know the truth about who she really was. I listened to it 3 times. Part of me knows he's full of shit. He's only calling because he needs something. But part of me wonders if he's right. If my sister really did plan everything. If she manipulated both of us. Then I got an email this morning from my dad's lawyer. A formal letter saying they're pursuing legal action against my ex-husband for fraud and emotional damages related to my sister's death. It lists me as a potential witness. Says they'll be contacting me for a deposition. My dad is suing my ex-husband, using my sister's death to do it. And I'm caught in the middle of it. I called my therapist. Emergency session. She asked what I want to do. I said I don't know. She asked if I believe my ex-husband when he says my sister planned everything. I said I don't know. She asked if it would change how I feel about any of this if it were true. I said I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. My sister is dead. My dad won't speak to me. My ex-husband wants me to save him from a lawsuit. And I'm supposed to figure out who's telling the truth when everyone involved has lied to me. The lawyer wants to meet next week. My ex-husband keeps calling. My dad's sister is posting on Facebook about how I killed my sister and now I won't even help bring her real murderer to justice. I should tell the truth in the deposition. Just lay out exactly what happened and let the lawyers figure it out. But I don't know what the truth is anymore. I don't know if my sister was a victim or a villain or both. I don't know if helping my ex-husband means betraying my sister's memory or finally holding him accountable. All I know is my sister died hating me and now everyone wants me to pick a side in a war I never wanted to be part of. The deposition happened last week. I told them everything. Every single detail about the fake cancer, the stolen money, the wedding, the Maldives photos. I brought printed copies of text messages, bank statements, the police report, court documents. Laid it all out in front of my dad's lawyer while a court reporter typed every word. My dad wasn't there. His lawyer said he couldn't handle seeing me. That was fine. I couldn't handle seeing him either. The lawyer asked if my ex-husband was involved in planning the fraud. I said I don't know. She asked if my sister ever mentioned him being the one who suggested it. I said yes, she told me that in her last phone call. The lawyer asked if I believed her. I said I don't know what I believe anymore. She asked why I refused to help pay for my sister's real cancer treatment. I looked her right in the face and said because she stole $50,000 from me, married my ex-husband, and expected me to forget about it the second she actually got sick. The lawyer wrote something down. Asked if I felt responsible for my sister's death. I said no. She asked if I had any regrets. I said yes, but not the one she was looking for. The whole thing took 4 hours. When it was over, the lawyer said my testimony would likely end their case against my ex-husband. That without proof he planned the fraud, they couldn't hold him financially responsible. That my sister's estate would remain liable for the $50,000 plus legal fees. I asked what that meant for my dad. She said he'd already spent everything he had on the funeral and final medical bills. That the estate had nothing left. That I'd probably never see my money and neither would anyone else my sister owed. I left and sat in my car in the parking garage for an hour. Didn't cry. Didn't feel relieved. Just sat there feeling like I'd just burned down the last bridge between me and my family forever. My ex-husband called me that night. Said he heard the deposition went well for him. Thanked me for telling the truth. I said I didn't do it for him. He said he knows, but he appreciates it anyway. Said maybe now we can both move on from all this. I told him to never contact me again. He said that's fair. Then he said for what it's worth, I am sorry about your sister. I know you two had history but she didn't deserve to die like that. I hung up. Blocked his number. Blocked every number he's ever called me from. My dad's sister posted on Facebook yesterday. Long post about how the legal system failed my sister. How her evil ex-husband manipulated her into committing fraud and then abandoned her when she got sick. How he's walking free while my sister is dead. How the family will never stop fighting for justice. She didn't mention me. Didn't mention that I was the one who got stolen from. Didn't mention that my sister married my ex-husband. Just rewrote the whole story to make my sister look like a victim and my ex-husband look like the only villain. The comments were full of people saying they'd pray for my dad. Saying my sister was an angel. Saying whoever didn't help her when she was sick would have to answer to God someday. I wanted to comment. Wanted to lay out every single thing my sister did. Wanted to ask where all these people were when she was stealing from me and posting honeymoon photos. But I didn't. Just closed the app and deleted Facebook from my phone. My therapist asked how I'm sleeping. I said I'm not. She asked if I'm eating. I said sometimes. She asked if I'm thinking about my sister. I said constantly. Every night I replay that last phone call. Her crying in the hospital saying my ex-husband convinced her to fake the cancer. Saying she was jealous of me. Saying she was sorry. And I think about how I hung up without saying anything back. How the last thing my sister heard from me was silence. My therapist said I need to forgive myself. That I was protecting myself from someone who hurt me. That I couldn't have known she'd die. That her death isn't my fault. But my sister is dead. And I was the only person who could have saved her. And I chose not to. I made that choice knowing she might die. And now I have to live with that forever. I drove past my dad's house last week. Didn't stop. Just drove past. His car was in the driveway. The lights were on. I wondered if he was inside thinking about me. If he hates me. If he wishes I died instead of my sister, I'll never know. He'll never speak to me again. I burned that bridge the second I refused to help her. Maybe I burned it before that, when I pressed charges for fraud. Maybe it was already burned when I didn't let him in my apartment and he slapped me. It doesn't matter now. My sister is dead. My dad is gone. My family thinks I'm a monster. And they're not completely wrong. I got the final settlement from the lawsuit yesterday. My sister's estate owes me $50,000 plus $8,000 in legal fees. The estate has $3,200 in it. That's what I'm getting back. $3,200. From the $50,000 I gave her. I deposited the check this morning. Sat in the bank parking lot afterward and just stared at my phone. Thought about texting my dad. Thought about telling him I'm sorry. Sorry for not helping. Sorry for testifying. Sorry for everything. But I'm not sorry. That's the thing I can't get past. I'm devastated my sister is dead. I'm destroyed that my family is gone. But I'm not sorry I refused to help her. She stole from me. She betrayed me. She married my ex-husband and used my money to do it. The fact that she got cancer afterward doesn't erase that. My therapist says I'm allowed to feel multiple things at once. That I can grieve my sister and still be angry at her. That I can miss my dad and still know I made the right choice. That complexity is part of being human. But it doesn't feel complex. It feels simple and horrible. My sister is dead because I wouldn't help her. That's the truth everyone will remember. Not the theft. Not the betrayal. Just that she was sick and dying and I said no. I'm moving. Found a new apartment across town. New job lined up in a different department. New therapist because mine is retiring. Starting over again for the second time in 3 years. Maybe this time I'll be okay. Maybe I'll stop dreaming about my sister in that hospital bed. Maybe I'll stop seeing my dad's face when he realized I was at the funeral. Maybe I'll stop wondering if I'm a monster. But probably not. Probably I'll carry this forever. The knowledge that I chose revenge over mercy. That I let my sister die alone because I couldn't forgive her. That I valued $50,000 more than her life. That's what everyone thinks anyway. That's the story my family tells. That's what my aunt posts on Facebook and what my dad believes and what I'll be remembered for. They're wrong. It wasn't about the money. It was about the betrayal. About her looking me in the eyes and lying. About her marrying my ex-husband and posting beach photos while I rebuilt my life from nothing. But they'll never understand that. And I'm done trying to explain it. My sister is dead. My family is gone. I have $3,200 and an empty apartment and a new therapist who doesn't know my story yet. And I have to figure out how to live with the fact that I'm the villain in everyone else's version of this. I don't know if I made the right choice. I don't know if there was a right choice. I just know my sister is dead and I'm still here and nothing will ever fix that. So no, I'm not the asshole for refusing to help her. But I'm also not innocent. I'm just someone who chose herself over her sister. And now I get to live with that forever.